Before understanding today's concepts, let's try to recollect it what we had it yesterday. Yesterday which we were trying to recollect about the CI/CD terminologies which we had it initially about that what is CI and what is a CD, and DevOps engineer point of view what are the main the activities, the development side and as well as operations engineers. Development side like infrastructure as a code and platform, configurations management and the deployment of that application. That is the changes how fastly we will move to that, the number of servers and number of environments. These are all some implementation side which we are trying to understand it, that is infrastructure as a code or configuration management tools, that is Ansible will come back, and applications, how do we deploy it or how to package it, compile it, how do we run that unit test cases or integration test cases. So those points of view, yes, like the which we need to understand some build tools. There are some points which we are trying to understand it, and in that build process, especially important stages, what we are trying to understand in the CI, if you just observe that, once the source code is available in the source code repository, yes, pull that code and do the compilation, and once compilation is done, then run the unit test cases, and once unit test cases are passed, then package it, and packaged file it applied to the server. So there are the stages that we are understanding, especially in the CI, continuous integration point of view. But these stages to complete it is which we are learning about it. That's application. The which application we are going to talk it is the Java JT based application. But this Java JT application, if you try to understand it, yes, we have on the base of application requirement and functionality to implement it, and architects they are coming up with that different approaches. One is a monolithic based, or second one which we can say that service based, microservice based application. Before going to understand this microservice based, how the containers and how that the container orchestration engines do we use it to manage these microservice based applications, I will come back to that. But first we are understanding about it monolithic based application. The current infras, most of the application which we have to the monolith, but slowly they're all migrating to the microservice based application. So without knowing about it, the monolithic, directly learning about the microservice based application, there is no meaning at all. Internally what's happening that's in the microservices, if you would like to understand it, the first let's look into that monolithic based application. But from the Java side, the Java application implementation side, if you just observe that, on the base of application requirement, that is intranet based or desktop based application or thread or socket based applications, we have the J2SE, that is a standard edition, Java 2 standard edition. But there are some old, the old architecture or old application point of it we use it. But the latest application point of view, web-based or transaction-based or messaging system, there are some, mostly which we see that internet-based application point of view. Another edition which we have this is Enterprise Edition, that is Java 2 Enterprise Edition. That is who will decide about it is, that is architects, they decide about it. We don't go for the deciding about it, which application, what is the APIs that is required to implement it, that is application team's responsibility. But about our responsibility is, yes, once the source code is available, whether it is a J2SE based or J2E with web based or J2E with the transaction or JMS or enterprise edition, that is a 2 or more modules, whatever that the type of application, doesn't matter that we are expecting these stages should be completing that. The packaging, compilation, running unit test cases of the source code, it is not going to change it in the Java platforms. Whatever the J2SE or J2E, whatever it is, doesn't matter that. Compilation and running unit test case is not going to change it. What are the type of application, doesn't matter that. But packaging model, that is on the base of the type of edition and API's point of view, it is going to change it, the packaging. But what are the possible possible type of packagings that we are having this from the Java J2 is either jar file or the var file or rar file or er file. There are the possible types of the packaging, and on the base of the packaging, yes, that is a jar files which we can run it directly on the JVM, or var files required some server support, or especially backend modules and enterprise applications, we need to use it the servers like a Tomcat or the WebLogic, WebSphere, JBoss. There are the different servers which are available in the market. The supporting for the Java applications to deploy it or to run it. But how do you perform it all these stages? Once the source code is available, how do you compile it or how do you run the test cases? Whether that is var file or the jar file or the rar file or the er file, doesn't matter. That how to package it. Packaged files, how to deploy it? Okay, that is we'll come back to that deployment. How do you run it on the JVM or how do you deploy it to the server? That is a different concept. But these phases, compilation, running unit test cases, and packaging. So that's we can manage it with the build tools. The build tools are helping in the market as a Java build tools, or if it the Python build tools are available, or if it is the .NET related the build tools. Yeah, Enant is the build tool which is available for the .NET based application. Yeah, so on the base of the technology, these build tools are going to changing that. But here we are going to use it. The Maven is a build tool. But what about this Maven and who is the vendor of this? And yeah, so how do we set up this Maven and how do we use this Maven to perform it all these phases? Especially these three, remember about it: compilation, unit test cases, and packaging. But we have some other life cycles also which will come back. But these phases, how do you perform it? With the Maven build tool for the Java J2 based application, which type of application doesn't matter that, whether J2SE or J2E or J2ME, doesn't matter that. So Maven is a build tool. Are you clear these points until that which we had it yesterday? So before continuing, there's the what is a Maven and how to set up the Maven. Yes, any points which you would like to discuss or any queries, please? Okay, so let's continue. So the understanding about this Maven tool and how do we define it. So Maven wise, if you just talk it, who is the vendor of this Maven is, that is Apache team. So Apache, the provider is that is Apache team about Maven. And this is also open source. So which we can download it and we can use it. And they're all available as a source code and as a binary file. Yes, we can customize it to the Maven as that requirement, but that is a developer's responsibility. But yes, we can use it as a open source, this one. And this has been implemented using the Java language. Yeah, so the Maven has been implemented using Java language. But what we can, what is the purpose of the Maven is as a build tool to perform the compilation activities or running that unit test cases of that application or integration test cases of that application or packaging of that application. Yes, all these activities that we can manage it of the Java J2 based application using Maven, but Maven has been implemented using Java. And yes, that means like what is the prerequisite before going to install that the Maven is Java should be installed on that machine. Yeah, Java has to be set up on the machine. Yeah, so these are all some points, the Apache, and especially this is going to helpful as a build server or build tool, which we can say that. Yeah, that's about some points on the Maven. But how do we set up, or how do we use it, and how do we perform these activities to understand it? Let's go for setting up the Maven. So what the build tool is going to helpful, what we can do with the build tool: compile the source code, running unit test cases, and we can use it, this Maven, to perform the packaging of Java application, and we can run it about it integration test cases, and we can distribute that application also, distributing app to the remote servers. But what is a distribution? So as we are talking about it in the process, once deployment is done and we need to once packaging is done, these packages we need to store it in the Nexus repository, right? Uploading or storing these files into the Nexus repository or artifact repository. Yes, we can upload that, the artifacts, that is a jar file or the var file or the ER file or the rar file as per the application requirement. We can upload the artifacts to the repository, artifactory repository, that is the Nexus. Example, if you just talk it, one of the example of that artifactory repository is Nexus. Yes, all these activities of the Java JT based application, we can manage it through this Maven. Yeah, this is a build tool. We can compile the source code, run the unit test cases, package it, and packaged files distribute to the remote repositories, that is artifact repositories, and run that integration test cases. Yeah, all these activities we look into that one by one. Less. So how do we set up the Maven? Yeah, so before setting up the Maven, what is the prerequisite is Java has to be, or Java, instead of saying the Java, we can say the JDK has to be installed. Install the JDK. What is the JDK that stands for? Java Development Kit. So JDK, that is a software bundle which we can download it and we can install the Java software. JDK is required. JDK that stands for Java Development Kit. And let me talk it, there's some terminology here, one more thing. Sometimes we hear about it, JRE. What is the JRE stands for? So what is the JRE stands for? Anyone? Java Runtime Environment. Yeah, like here the point is, before going to set up the Maven, the JDK we need to download it and we need to install the JDK. And whenever we install the JDK, JDK contains, or JDK is providing the runtime environment where we can use it, this JRE, to run the Java programs. Yeah, JDK is a software bundle which we can download it and install the JDK. And after installing the JDK, JDK is having, or with that installation, we will get it JRE, that is a Java runtime environment. This is helping about it to run the Java programs. How do we execute the Java program? We need to have the JRE. But sometimes whenever whenever we are installing about the JDK, whenever we are trying to download the JDK, we see that the JDK software, JRE software. Okay, let me just talk it, the terminologies. Let me just define here itself. So what is the difference between the JDK and the JRE? So sometimes whenever we are downloading or installation time, we see that the JDK downloads, JRE downloads. JDK, the name itself is in the development kit. So which contains compiler, which we can compile the program, and as well as we can execute the program. We can compile the program. The compilation is nothing but just some keywords, just note it. Compiler is nothing but converting Java program to machine language format. That is only JVM can understand it. That is in the machine language format. But Java program, yes, if you know the Java, you can understand it. The Java developers, whatever the source code which they are implementing, first it has to be compiled. So why we are talking about this phase here, it is compilation is nothing but that source code which is implemented has to be converted into machine language format. That is the phase we can say the compilation. But to compile the Java program, JDK has to be installed on that machine, on that virtual machine, wherever you are planning to compile the Java program. So on that machine, Java is required. JDK has to be installed, which contain the compiler and as well as executor. That is, we can say that JVM. This is the executor, which helps about it executing Java program. Without compilation, you cannot execute the Java program. First, once a developer has implemented the code, first it has to be compiled. To compile it, compiler is required. And once it has been converted into that machine language through the compiler, then we can run the program. That is by using JVM, virtual machine, which executes the Java program. So if you are going to install the JDK, we will get it the compiler and as well as JVM both. We can compile the Java programs and as well as we can run the Java programs. But if you are going to install JRE, only the JRE, that is runtime environment, which helps about it only JVM. So we can execute the programs, but we cannot compile the programs with the JRE. Got the difference between the JDK and the JRE? JRE JRE is getting about the JVM, which we can use it only execute in the program. But if we have downloaded the JDK, JDK is giving that compiler, which you can compile the Java programs, and as well as we can run the Java programs. Both we can do that. Yeah, now if we just talk it like on the build servers or on the build environment, which one is required? JDK or JRE? On the build servers, that is about Maven, if you would like to use it to compile the programs. Yes, what is the software we need to download it and install it? JDK is required. Development kit, which should be available on the developer systems or the build systems. Wherever you are performing build activities on the systems, we need to install the JDK. But on which systems we install the JRE? Suppose intranet based application, like a desktop based application. So if I would like to run it that desktop application on my system, I am the client, I am going to use the software, the Java software which has been implemented by the development team. I need to run that application in my system. But if I would like to run it, that application on my system, I need to install the JRE, not require the JDK for me. Because the developer already has implemented and he has given the binary file. That binary file I need to execute it. So only if you're planning to execute the Java program, JRE is enough. But if we need it compilation and executing the Java programs, we need to have it JDK. Simple as it is. Most of the environments, most of the systems, we install the JDK. But know the difference between the JDK and the JRE while downloading or while installation time. What is the difference between the JRE and the JDK? JDK, which we can compile the Java programs and as well as we can execute the Java programs. But JRE is going to helpful only execute in the programs, but we cannot compile it. Yeah. So that is some keywords. The JDK, JRE, JVM. There are three main keywords. JVM is Java Virtual Machine, which execute the Java program. But the JVM, by installing the JRE or by installing the JDK, we can get into that. Compiler is nothing but converting the Java program, that is a source code, into binary file. That is a machine language format. That a process converting about the human readable Java program to the machine language format. We can call it as a compiler. Yeah, how to set up the Maven is that we need to install the JDK. So install the JDK on the system. Then Maven we need to install it. And then finally set up Maven. There are the three steps which we have. The first JDK installation, then Maven installation, then we need to set up the Maven. After installation, so we need to do some activities. That's will come back. Yeah, let me take it one of the EC2 instance. Amazon Linux AMI, we will take it. Or if you are, if you know this Vagrant system also you can use it. The CentOS 7 or 8 you can take it and you can use it that. Let me take it one of the EC2 instance to set up this the Maven. Are you clear these points? Are you following the points? So Maven is a build tool that is from the Apache team, and this is an open source which has been implemented using the Java language. And with this Maven, what we can do this is we can compile the Java programs and we can run the unit test cases of the Java programs. We can package that application of that source code that is converting into that the binary files. The source code is like that's like developer's code, but the developer's code finally if would like to deploy on the servers, we need to package it. Yeah, packaged files will take it and we deploy on the servers. Yes, how to package it? Yes, that's packaging we can do the Java JT based application by using Maven, and integration test we can run it, and we can distribute that application to the remote servers, that is uploading that artifacts to the artifact repository like Nexus or the JFrog as a distribution point of view. And before going to talk, before talking this Maven setting up that on all the points, what are the other build tools which are available in the market if you just understand it? Other build tools for Java JT based application. We are talking that especially Java JT application side, Java based application. Ant is available. Ant is this is also from Apache vendor, Apache team, the same. So Apache team, they have given Ant one build tool and another build tool is Maven. There are the two build tools are available from Apache team itself. And another tool which is available in the market, Gradle. But this is the commercial one or licensed version, commercial product. But Maven is open source. But Maven and Gradle both are having that almost same features. But Maven is a open source and Gradle is commercial one. There's a license required. But and why we are not going to use it? Yeah, Maven is advanced to the Ant. Yeah, that is same. Vendor is the same vendor. But Ant is the old architecture, and Maven is that latest features. One of the best feature what we have is the comparing with the Ant and Maven is distributing that application. Ant is not having the distribution approach. You cannot distribute it, that application to the remote servers, uploading artifacts. But remaining like a compilation, running unit test cases, packaging, almost all these activities we can manage it through the Ant. But Ant is not supporting the distributed. But as the latest point of view, the Maven is supporting the distributed architecture. This is Ant is non-distributed architecture. So that is one of the main difference between Ant and a Maven. This is non-distributed. And Gradle, Maven, both are almost supporting the same features. But Gradle, yes, that's a commercial product, has the license required. The one of those, like if you just refer that, the market share, the Maven is having the more market share from the build tools point of view for the Java GT based applications. But if you know the Maven, you can handle the Gradle as well as. It is not, I mean, that meaning. Yes, we can distribute that application to that storage repositories. Storage. Deploying artifacts to the servers. That's will come back. We use it Ansible or shell scripting approaches. It is not supporting about it that distribution, but yes, we can integrate with the artifact repositories. That is the main point. Artifact, once it is available, this artifact you can distribute it to the remote repositories. But deployment, how do we do that? Yes, we need to use it configuration management tools, or we need to use it about our automation scripts, that the shell script, yeah, Ansible, these tools which we can use it. Deploying to the servers. I'm not talking about the deployment as a distribution. I'm talking about it storing that artifacts within the repositories. That is the feature which we have from the map. Yeah, once the build activity is done, the artifact is available, but artifact we should not keep it in the local system, right? We need to upload or we need to store it in the remote repository. So Maven itself is helping about it to distribute that application to the remote repositories. Once that is available in the remote repository, you can download it and you can deploy to the servers. Yeah, are you clear these points? What are the other build tools? The total in the market which we hear about it, Maven and Gradle. These are the main tools for the Java GT based application. Maven is an open source and Gradle is commercial one, but almost both are supporting the same features. But Ant is also one of the build tool, but it doesn't support it distribution, and the Maven supports the distribution. There's the main difference. And the difference between the JDK and JRE. JDK contains compiler and as well as JVM, but JRE contains only JVM, which can be executed to the Java programs. Yeah, how to set up that Maven finally? So install the JDK, then install the Maven, and then Maven to use it, we need to set up the Maven. So let me launch one EC2 instance and let's go for first installing the JDK, then Maven installation and set up the Maven. Are you following the points, everyone? Yeah, initially the technologies, yes, that's a little bit difficult, but yes, the try to focus on it the one or two times or two or three times the review about it. Definitely these are all very easy keywords, but initially JDK, JRE, JVM, and what is this Maven, what is this compilation, what is this packaging, what is this like artifact repository, source code repository. Yes, a little bit confusion about the technologies, but the two or three times if you just go ahead and review that the videos with the fast forward option, then you will get the familiar with that. Yeah, these are all very important. The technologies wise, try to get it that. and concepts as well as yes, technologies. If you are understanding, definitely automatically concepts which comes into the picture. Yeah, let me launch the EC2 instance and let's go for that. We are using Ireland, right? Let me go to the Ireland, the region. Okay, so let me launch one EC2 instance. I'm going to use it as a build server. That yes, I'm going to call this one as a build server, where we would like to perform all the Maven related activities. Yes, we are given the name as a build server, and I'm going to use it Amazon Linux AMI. That's fine, or you can use it like a Red Hat or Ubuntu, whatever you prefer it. And instance type, yes, T2 micro. That's more enough. And key pair. Then let me create new key pair for this build server. Build server key pair. Okay, the PEM file has been downloaded. That's fine. Network settings, let's go for the default and make sure about this SSH traffic is allowed from the security group. Yes, we need to connect it now. We need to log into the system and we need to perform setting up the Maven on this node. But HTTP or HTTPS traffic, those are all not required for the timing. You can skip it. And storage, that's fine, 8 GB. Yeah, so those inputs enough. Let's launch the instance. Yeah, it has come to the running. Let me take it this IP address and let me open that in the mobile XTEM. Let me log into the system. The key pair register which I created, build server. Let me choose that and let's go for this. Yeah, before going to use this system, let me set the host name. Whenever we log into the system, instead of using IP addresses instead of using these IP addresses as a host names, so let me go for defining host name for this node. How do we how to configure the host name? Host name ctl. So there is a command which we can use it. Set host name. So this is a command which is going to helpful to set the host name of the system. I would like to set that the host name as a build server. Yeah, set the host name, but it is not reflecting here the host name. Let me log off. So let me exit from this shell and let me relog in. Relog in, how do you do this? Is you can use the shift R to restart the session. The shift R. Yeah, now we have relogged in. Now we see that what is the host name that is showing? Build server. Yeah, whenever we are working with the multiple systems, yes, next we are going to work with the different systems. But on which server you are in that to identify it, yeah, the host name setting is recommended. Yeah, now we are good. The build server. Yeah, before going to install any softwares or the packages, first let's update the system, that is recommended. So m update. So any latest packages or patches which are available, that is going to update it, that is recommended. Yeah, some kernel tools or IP routings or kernel command, so it has been updated. Yes, we are good. Yeah, we have reset the host name of the system, and as well as we have updated the system. Now the system is ready. But first and foremost, the thing is, let's go for installing the JDK. But is it available? Java, is it already available or not? How do you check it is? So we can use it this command java-version, and it is saying this Java command not found. That means Java is not available on this node. But how do we install the Java? Yeah, how do I install the Java on this machine is, yes, which we can use it sudo m search. You can search for the Java packages. So what is the Java package name is OpenJDK. But what are the different versions are available? Let's search for that. So instead of the OpenJDK, you can use the Java keyword also. Let me try it with OpenJDK. Yes, it is listing some of the Java softwares. Yes, you see that there are the OpenJDK softwares. I mean the package names, which we have that 1.7 version, 1.8 version. Yeah, there are the different versions it is showing. But within that 1.8 itself, if we just observe that, so you see that this is the package which is showing OpenJDK 8 runtime environment. Runtime environment is nothing but, can we use it this one for the build server? Can we install this package for the build activities? No, right? It is having only a runtime environment. That means it is given that only JRE. JRE is nothing but only you can use it executing the programs, but you cannot compile the programs. No, we don't want this. We don't want this. This is the debugging. This is the demo purpose it has been given. So finally, if we just observe that here, one of the software which we can say OpenJDK development environment. Yes, this is the package. This is the OpenJDK development environment. Development environment is nothing but that provides the compiler and as well as executor. The remaining all are not required. Let me go for using this JDK. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah, so now we are going to use this package to install it. This is supporting the OpenJDK development environment. Yes, that is required. Let's go for installing this package. Sudo m install -y, and then let's give the package name And this is x86-64 is nothing but that is 64-bit operating system related OpenJDK we are trying to install on this machine. Let's go for. Yes. The Java has been installed, but how to verify this Java is installed or not? We can use it Java-version option. Yes, now we are getting about it 1.80 version of the JDK has been installed on this node. Yeah, that is OpenJDK, and it is providing a runtime environment as well as, and it is 64-bit server and virtual machine, that is JVM. Yeah, fine, good. So if you are able to run this command, then we are good with the Java. But Java, we have the different versions like 1.7, 1.8, 1.11. 1.8 and 1.11, these are the two main versions currently which are using that. But 1.11, which is not showing here, right? So in the package list, if you just observe that it was showing only 1.7 and 1.8, but 1.11 it is not showing in the package list. That will come back. How do we install the 1.11? But for the timing application deployment point of view, I need to use it as 1.8 as about our application requirement. But 1.11 we will talk it in the Jenkins and some setup solutions point of view. So how do we install the 1.11? We'll talk it later. Yeah, that's about JDK installation. Yes, the JDK is ready. What next? Next, Maven has to be installed. But Maven, how do we install it? Let's browse it, the Google. So Maven download. You just search it in the Google, and Maven official site, you can browse it, Apache Maven project. This is from the Maven team. And yes, what is the latest version of that? The Maven is the 3.8.5. So this is the latest version of the Maven. And we can check it about it before going to use this Maven. What are the system requirements here? Yeah, Java development kit is required. At least that is required JDK 1.7 or above. But we have installed 1.8 JDK, right? Yes, we are good. This is ready. Memory point of view, no minimum requirement. Leave it. Yes, we have taken that 1 GB of the system. But it is saying there's no minimum requirement. We are good. A disk approximately 10 MB. That's fine. We have taken 8 GB of the system, right? EC2 instance. And operating system, no minimum requirement. And you can take it either Windows or Unix based systems. That's fine. Yeah, so if we talk it like one of the important requirement is JDK only, right? Remaining requirements, that is no minimum requirement on the memory and disk and operating system. Any operating system you can use it. But how do we install the Maven is, yes, you see that Maven, which has been given that .tar.gz file or zip file. There are the binary files. Binary files are the executables. And the source code also they have given. That means as we are talking, this is the open source which you can download the Maven and you can customize the Maven. But that is done by the development team. Source code, we don't use it. So Maven team, they are giving the source of the Maven project as a build tool which you can download it and you can customize it. But that is a developer's responsibility. But we are going to use it, the binary file which can be used to execute the Maven commands. That is required for us. But in the binary, we have like a .tar.gz file. This is for Unix flavors which we can use it. And the .zip file, this is for Windows systems which we can use it. Yeah, we need to download this one and we need to extract it. So let's take this URL link. Yes, copy the link. Let's go to about our system. I just copied the link and I'm going to download that file. That is wget. Use the wget and give the path of the, or whatever the link address which are copied, just give that address link. Yes, the file has been downloaded. So this is a file, Apache Maven 3.8.5. There's a binary .tar.gz file. But where do we install this one? .tar.gz file, or how do we install it? What is the command? Thus we can use it here to extract this file. Maybe in the Linux you are learning, right? Tar files. How do we extract the tar file, or how to create a tar file? So what is the command that we use it to extract this file? Yeah, tar. This is the .gif file also. .tar is available on .gz. tar-xzvf, which we use it. But before extracting, the Maven you are installing on this machine is nothing but we should not install in the home directories, right? User home directories, we don't prefer it. So what is the recommended directory to install the software is third-party softwares we install in which folder as a standard point of view. In the infras, suppose m install if you use it, okay, that is by default configuration files into that etc, log files into that var log. That's going to take care of the package installation. But now we have taken that downloadable file, that is a .tar.gz file, and we need to extract this file. Then whatever the directory we have extracted, the directory we call it as a Maven home directory. But where do we extract it? Are you going to install in the temporary directories, or are you going to use it in the user home directories? No, that is not recommended. As a standard point of view, all the third-party softwares we install in the opt folder. And here some AWS related and Red Hat related some packages that have been installed. Now we will install this Maven in the opt folder. But opt folder, who is what is the owner and what is the group that is set up? This is a root user has been defined, but we are using EC2 user. What do I do is I go for changing about this opt folder to the EC2 user owner. Then I will use it this opt folder to install this Maven. Yeah, so ls-d, if we just verify that the directory is having that opt folder is having the root user who is the owner of it, root, and group is also root, but we don't want to use that root user. Current user, EC2 user, we are going to use it. How to change the owner of this the root to the EC2 user? The change the owner and with recursively, yes, all the directories and folders, and which owner we would like to use it is EC2 user, and group also EC2 user. And which folder? Opt folder. And now let's verify this, the directory. Yes, now we have changed that owner to that EC2 user, and yeah, that's like a group also EC2 user. Then we don't see the permission issues. Yeah, I'm going to manage this Maven with this EC2 user. Yeah, now anyway we are in that opt folder. We are good. Now this within this opt folder, let me copy this file and then we'll extract it. So this file is located in the user home directory. We have downloaded in the user home directory, right? Let me move this completely. I don't even that copy not required. I'm just moving to the current opt folder. Yes, in the current opt folder we got it this tarball. Let's extract this now, xzvf, and give the file name. Yeah, that has been extracted. Now if you see this, this is a file and which has been extracted to this directory. And this file is no more required. Let me remove this file. So rm-rf apache maven dot -bin, right? Yeah, this file is no more required. And now we got it the extracted directory. Now if you verify this directory, So these are all like Maven related binaries, libraries, configuration files. So now this is the extracted directory. But instead of using this the long representation of the names, I would like to rename this directory to, so this directory to Maven 3. Yeah, you can rename it any directory. Now this Maven 3 directory, if you go to that, and here we have all the Maven related binaries, the bin folder which contain the binaries, that is executables, and supported libraries, supported configuration files, and some readme.txt, some files. Yeah, now this directory, now this entire directory, in the opt folder Maven 3 directory, we can call it as a Maven home directory. So which contains Maven related binaries, libraries, configuration files. So all the supported files of the Maven. What do we call this directory? Maven home directory. Okay, so Java is installed and Maven has been downloaded and extracted to that opt folder, and we have renamed it. Fine. Now can we use it the Maven? How to test it Maven is running on that node or not? How do you check it the Java is running on that machine or not? So we were using the Java version, right? This is a command to verify the Java is installed on that node or not. If it is installed, which version is installed? And if you see the command not found, then Java is not installed. Okay, the Java is running 1.8 version. But what about the Maven? How do I verify that Maven is running on this node or not? So what is the command which we can use? It is men --- version is a command to check the Maven. Maven is running on that node or not. We can check with the men --- version. So if I run this command, what it is saying is men command not found. Maven command, men command not found. But Maven we have downloaded and we have extracted into the opt folder, and in the opt folder Maven 3 directory. Yes, we got it Maven all the binaries, but still in the shell it is not able to find it. Maven is installed or not, right? Command not found. So we didn't install the Maven through the minstall. Minstall if it are done, then it is installing all the binaries and the libraries and configuration files, and automatically it is adding to the shell path. But here Maven we have extracted, we have downloaded the zip file and we have extracted the file. This manually we have done. We didn't do that through the package manager. We didn't use it or we didn't use it RPM. We have downloaded tarball extracted. But whenever you extract the tarball of this Maven, and Maven related all the binaries, you see that in the bin folder they're all available. Yes, what of the command we are running men? This is the binary I'm using. But this binary is available on the system, but shell is not recognizing that. You see, the bash is not able to find this men utility. But where it is located? The Maven home directory in the bin folder, this is located. But shell is not able to locate that men file. That means each and every time if I would like to run it the Maven, what I need to do is I need to go to the bin folder and I need to use it men utility. That means I need to specify the complete path. Yes, now men is running. So if you give the complete path, then we are able to run it. So that is where we are in the Maven home directory, and in the Maven home directory in the bin folder, men is the file. This is the file, and if you pass it argument, and it is given there. What is the Apache Maven version 3.8.5, and this is a Maven home directory. And Maven is running on the Java. On which version of the Java it is running? 1.8. And the vendor of the Java is Red Hat. And this is the runtime of the Java. And Finally, this Java is running on this OS. On which OS it is running? Linux OS. And what is the kernel version? 5.10. What is the architecture? AMD 64. And which is having x86 64. Family is Unix family. So if you just observe the three-layered architecture, the first OS layer, on the OS Java is running. On the Java, the Maven is running. Yeah, Maven is a product which has been implemented by using Java. If you would like to run the Maven, you need to have the Java. But Java, Java is running, that application is nothing but Java is running on the OS. Here we are using the Linux based the OS. So the OS, on the OS Java is running. On the JVM, the Maven is running. Okay, fine, good. As we know about it, Maven to run it, Java has to be installed, and Java we have installed on this OS. Fine. But now to run that Maven command directly, I'm not able to run it, right? I'm not able to run it Maven directly. Command not found. But if I use it complete path, then we are able to run it. But how do we instruct it to the bash shell? Where is about our Maven utility? That means where is this Maven command is located? That is located in the Maven home directory bin folder, right? But how do we instruct it to the bash or shell? So where are the Maven related binaries are located? So how do we instruct it to the Maven? Sorry, how do we instruct it to the shell? Anyone? Now what we need to do? Maybe from the Linux, if you remember about the concepts, you will get it that. Suppose if I'm able to run that ls command on the system is nothing but how I'm able to run that ls command. Like the same way, I would like to run it men command. Men and passing this argument, version argument. But I'm not able to run it. It is saying that the shell was, I don't find it about your men utility. But ls is able to find it. But actually, where is ls? Yes, ls is located is actually that is in user bin. In the user bin folder, what all the files are available? All the files that is locating by bash shell. But men command is not able to locate from the bash shell. Then how do we use it? How do we define that? Where are that Maven related binaries are located? How do we instruct it to the shell? Alias is not the solution. Alias is just like if you have those any long names with a shortcut based, you can use it. But alias is not the solution here. Environment variables. Yes, if you just observe that list of all the environment variables, yeah, they're all like, what is the command to get you to list of all the environment variables which have been set up in this current shell? env. Env is a command to verify list of all the environment variables. These are all the environment variables. The host name which was set up and which type of the shell it is using. So what is the history size? Last 1000 commands it is going to give it. And old PWD, yes, we were in the opt, but now we are in the Maven home directory, that is a Maven 3. And which user we are using. Yeah, there are some the variables which have been set up, and one of the important variable, if we just locate it, that path variable. So if you like to try to print that, the path variable, yeah, it contains about the binaries, user local binaries. That means within this user local bin folder, we don't have any files. Okay, fine, good. And it is looking about it user bin. Do you have any files here? Yes. Do you have the files? tar command we are running. or ls commands we are running, or any commands, the top command we are running is nothing but wait at the top. How you are going to get it the top command here? Yes, the shell is going to, whenever we um, hit the command in the shell is going to use this variable, and it is going to locate that the first that command or binary file, is it available in this directory or not. If it is not available, then it is going to check it in this directory. If that is not available, next it is going to check it in this directory. Like that, it is going to check it in each and every directory which was specified in the path variable. Finally, if it is not available, then it is going to return the command not found. Suppose ls, whenever we run it, yes, it is giving that the response, or the pwd command, if you run it, yes, we are able to run it. That means this is the, like, where the pwd is located. Which pwd, if you verify, yes, that is available user bin. Yes, user bin is already added in the path variable. Then shell is able to locate this pwd command, and it is running that. But Maven, we didn't define it. Suppose if you remove all these directories from the path variable, let me just set up that. How do we set up the environment variables? How do you set the environment variables on the OS? Export command, right? Export and variable name, that is a path. And if I don't define anything in the path variable, now if you verify this, what is the value of this path variable? Nothing. Now we are not able to run command. We are not able to run even the env command and grep commands. Before it was working, but now it is not working because path variable is empty. But if I add it to the path variable about user binaries, let me just add this directory. Now if I try to run it env command, yes, we are able to run that env and grep commands because those two utilities are available in user bin. Yeah, where are the binaries are located? All those binaries we will add to that path variable. The whenever we use it yum install or rpm through that rpm, whenever we install it, that package management utilities, if you use it and if you install the packages, those package related binaries are automatically adding to the path variable. That's why we are able to run commands directly. But Maven point of view, we have downloaded the that's like a zip file or tar file, and we have extracted. But extracted directory related binaries are available in the bin folder of the Maven home directory. Now this Maven home directory bin folder we need to add to the path variable. But how do I add it that? That's, we can say that setting about environment variables. That is set up the Maven. Why we are using that keyword is Maven, if you just download it and extract it, the shell is not able to identify it. Now we need to add Maven binaries to the path variable. First of all, let me set up this existing path, whatever we have. So let me export it first. Export path equal to, I'm going to set up the previous one as it is, whatever we have. That's we need to set up the first. Now to this environment variable, to this path variable, we need to append about our Maven home directory binaries. So how do you do that is, so previous environment directories, whatever we have, as it is, it should be there. And we need to append about our Maven binaries. So where that Maven is installed, we are adding about it. Yes, opt the Maven 3. This is the directory. In this directory, one of the files we need to add to that path variable is only binaries. Don't add it other directories. Only bin folder. Bin folder contains executables and which can be used by about our bash shell to execute the command. Yeah, now in the Maven home directory, in the bin folder, what are the files we have? These files we would like to add to the path variable and existing path variable. How do we read that path variable? existing as it is, that the path value whatever we have, how do we read it is dollar path. We know about it. How do we read the value of the variable in the Linux? So we are appending, we are setting the path variable. We are adding about Maven binaries and as well as existing path, whatever the value it contains, that value. So append, how do you do that? Colon. One directory, this is another directory, like a colon. Now if I set it, now let me run it about mn command. Now we can go to any directory and we can run it about that Maven command. But before, if you don't export it, you need to always represent about Maven home directory bin folder man. So the next onwards we are going to use it Maven commands. How to compile the Java program, how to run the unit test. Yes, the Maven, once it is ready, we have the some arguments, how we are using about it version argument, how to get it the version information of this Maven. Tomorrow if you like to compile it the Java program, mn compile we use it. And if you'd like to package it, mn package. That is going to help in that. Just the set it and relax it, and it is going to package in that complete application. And if you run it mn compile in the source code, it is going to take care of that compiling the source code. So we have this, why we are setting up the Maven is to get the benefits of all these commands: compilation time, execution time, and packaging time, unit test cases. Yeah, that's will come back. Yes, now what we have done is we have downloaded the tarball. Simple, that's straightforward. Opt folder we have taken, and in the opt folder we have changed the owner to the ECT user. Then we have downloaded the .tarball of the Maven from the download page. Copy the link and use the duplicate. And after downloading, we have extracted tar-xzvf and we have renamed it to this Maven 3 or whatever the name you prefer it. You just set that with that name and then export that path variable about Maven binaries. Maven, wherever we have installed that location with the bin folder, and append that existing path variable. Now we are able to run the Maven command. With this, Maven has been set up on this node. But is it a permanent? This export command, is it a permanent one? Anyone can give that? The answer? There are Linux concepts. As the requirement point of view, are talking that, but there are the concepts from the Linux itself. Export is a command which is from the Linux, and extracting the tarball, duplicate downloading. There are all the commands from the Linux. And changing the owner. They use that opt folder. Don't use that user home directories to install the third-party packages. So if I just log off it, let me exit from the session. I just log off from that user session, and I'm going to re-log in to the new session. But now if I try to run it mn version, is it going to work it? It's not working. So it's not working. That means the export keyword, whatever we have used, that was only for current user shell. Until that user session is available, you can use it that export environment variable, the path. But once if you log off and re-log into the session, then it's gone. But how do you set up that permanently these environment variables? Anyone can give that answer for it? How do you set up this permanently the environment variables? ETC profile, that is for all the users, right? That is at system level you are going to define. No, we don't want that for all the users. Only for ECT user I need to have it. Yeah, the bash profile. So if you verify this in the current user home directory, now we are in the current user home directory, that is home of that EC2 user. And here in the hidden files, if you verify, histories it is managing, logouts it is managing, and a profile of this user, and a bash RC file. The bash profile is whenever during the login it is going to executing, but whenever you start the new session, the new the terminal, it is not going to execute the bash profile. Bash profile will be executed only during login time. But always, whenever you are starting that new terminal from this current terminal or in login time, always the switch script is executing is bash RC. So open this file. So in this file, so now we can define that the user specific environment variables. What is that environment variable? Let me export the path variable by defining opt maven3 bin folder $path. Whatever we have defined in the terminal, now we are going to add it in the user profile level. Then this will be executed whenever user is login time. Now let's run this script, the source it, the bash rc. Yeah, now the environment variable, if you verify the CNV, and or let's just print it echo $path variable. Now we see the says Maven binaries have been added, and as well as the remaining path also has been appended. Yes, we are good. The Maven binaries we have added. Now we can run it, the Maven version. And even if you log off and log in back, and even if you run this command also, yes, it is going to work it now. Yes, now this system is ready with Maven. Are you clear all these points? How to set up the Maven on this machine? Yeah, to set up all these things, and we have this lab guide. Let me show this, unless you can practice that. The lab guide. Let me go to Rise and Shine Agenda portal. Yeah, now AWS, this one we have done, and these two projects. Now we are in this course section, DevOps CI/CD tools. And if you go to this course, and here we have this agenda, you can find that agenda. I will give this permission today about this course. Then you can access this agenda and you can continue the referring that the concepts of this agenda. Yeah, demo videos you can find it. And yesterday and today, whatever we discussed about the pipelines and about the Java, and yes, about the Maven build tool, whatever we are talking, that's one. And finally, I'll come back to this assignment, but the today in this fifth section, you can find it the labs of this Maven. So go to the first lab, that is a Maven setup steps. So lab 01, I will share this link directly in the WhatsApp. I mean, you can directly access this lab. Yeah, launch the EC2 instance and first set the host name, then install the Java. You can search for the Java or the OpenJDK and install that OpenJDK and check with the Java version. And go to the ROPT folder and change the owner of it. Yeah, here it has been defined for the CentOS, but you can use it EC2 user. or you can create a CentOS user and you can use that user also. Whatever you prefer, that's you can do. And check it with that. Check with us that soft folder has been changed to this owner, whatever the user you are using. And then finally download the Maven. You can use it like a latest URL link with the wget, and yes, extract it and remove the tar file, and rename this directory as well as a Maven 3.8 or Maven 3, whatever you prefer it, and go to this directory. Yeah, this one we can call it like a Maven home directory, and export environment variables. So min version doesn't work it here. Then look it up with the path variable, and to the path variable add this Maven home directory binaries. Then check with that, and yes, finally open the bash rc file and add this command in the bash rc file. Then log off under relogin, and you can check it once again min version whether it is working it or not. Yeah, whatever we have done, all the commands it is there. I'm just pinging this forum link in the WhatsApp, which you can refer for about yes commands point of view. Batch number 38. Maven setup. Yeah, I just pinged this in the WhatsApp group, that link, which you can refer that the Maven how you can set up this on the Linux system. Windows also the same thing, but Windows how do we define the path? You need to search it in the Google. But normally we don't get the chance on the Windows systems. We use the build servers where in the CI/CD pipelines about the Linux systems itself. Yes, work with the Linux systems. You can take that vagrant if you don't want that EC2 and the pricing and all that confusions. Then you can use it the vagrant and take it CentOS 8, or you can use it VMware initially whatever you are using, and you can do on that system as well as. But this system whatever you are launching EC2, keep on continue that. So it is going to have the continuity up to learning about it until that Nexus and all that. Yeah, or even that's later also you can use it, but use the local system, or if you are okay with that EC2 you can take it from the AWS account. Whatever you prefer it, that's about your choice. Yeah, so that's about for today on this Maven, and the tomorrow we'll come back and how do we work with the Maven. So working with the Maven, that is how to compile it and how to package it. So all that's like a life cycle activities we have. What are the life cycles of the Maven and how do we use it, those life cycles? We'll come back, generating one sample project and all that. Are you clear at this point? Yeah, next these things we are going to talk it one by one. This will come back. Are you clear? Any queries, questions, please? Okay, can we also install Maven from minstall? Minstall, you can do it, but that is not recommended as application and application specific versions to install it. Explicit binary files downloading and installing, that is the recommended approach, but we can do this with minstall also. But minstall is not having the latest versions always, so you can just browse it the Maven install using m. Yeah, minstall Maven directly available, but this is going to have that the older versions 3.0. You see that the older versions, but as the latest version of this Maven point of view, yes, that's recommended is downloading the zip file from the mirror. Yes, this is the jar file, and use the jar file and add to the path variable. So this is recommended approach. Or if you don't have this any specific version, then older version also fine. Then you can try with that install Maven. But work with this package utility, this approach. that is a duplicate downloading and setting up thus the path variable. Got the point? Yeah, so that's about for today's section, the Maven and Maven activities and how to set up the Maven. The lab guide I have shared it. Just refer it whenever you are setting up that. Take this either EC2 or about your local system, one of the virtual machine, whatever you prefer it, through the Vagrant or VMware or EC2 and practice on it. Yeah, that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow and we'll continue Maven activities. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.